The judge is not going to allow any defendant, to pontificate. You're going to have to answer the questions.
Let's, by the way, remind folks, he was on the stand for about 90 seconds. With all of that anticipation of would he or won't he, he was on the stand for 90 seconds. I want to play also some sound of someone who could also be a key witness as well, Michael Cohen. Let's listen to that.
He is not a good witness. He's not going to take the stand. In fact, I hope that I'm wrong, because I think that would be absolutely classic for America to be able to see Donald Trump on the witness stand trying to defend himself in a case that's indefensible.
Well, he obviously is agreeing with Catherine Christian there, essentially saying it would be a gift, Catherine, as you put it, to the court, if in fact he were to offer up testimony to the former president. Charles, though, weigh in for me on Michael Cohen as a witness, right? The real question will be the credibility of Michael Cohen. But I hearken back to Judge Engoron's judgment from the Trump civil fraud trial, in which he said, verbatim, Michael Cohen to him was a credible witness, right? But this time it's going to have to be in front of a jury.
Yeah, I think that's something that, as a prosecutor, you just become accustomed to dealing with. You're never going to get a nun with a clear past who saw everything with their eyes in broad daylight, up close. Those things just don't happen. Your witnesses are usually going to come with some degree of challenge. And you know, if you're a prosecutor, if you're out in Bragg's office, you're going to make the case that who better to know what was going on with respect to Donald Trump than someone who was actually in cahoots with them. And then conversely, if you're Donald Trump's team, you're going to say, look, Michael Cohen's someone who has an axe to grind, who only had this epiphany of truth, morality, and supposed justice after he got convicted and had to go to jail for lying. Now, the thing that makes this a little bit different is that this is a case that involves a lot of documents, Yasmin, in terms of pointing the direction to where the money went and how it moved hands. And that's going to be able to corroborate Michael Cohen's testimony in a way that will help slide off some of the doubt of credibility that will be placed on him by the defense. So ultimately, I think he's not necessarily the ideal witness, but there's no ideal witness. And that's the thing the public needs to understand. And because there are so many documents in this case that will speak for themselves, it doesn't hurt as bad as it would perhaps if this were another type of case that the jury was hearing.
Charles Coleman Jr., Catherine Christian, thank you to you both. We're going to be seeing a lot of you over the next couple of weeks, that is for sure. By the way, you can catch everybody's special coverage of Donald Trump's hush money trial starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern with Ana Cabrera and Jose Diaz-Balart, and coverage will continue throughout the afternoon with Andrew Mitchell, Chris Jensen, Katie Tur as well. That's tomorrow starting 10 a.m. Eastern right here, where else, on MSNBC. Coming up next, more on the breaking news out of the Middle East as Israel vows that it will respond to the attacks from Iran, while President Biden urges Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu not to escalate the situation. We're going to discuss what could happen next.
The greatest guitarist is Eddie Van Halen.
What about Prince?
That includes Slash and Jimmy Page.
B.B. King and Ira Ray.
The Edge changed everything.
The debate continues with rebellious riffs and six-string solos on the SiriusXM Guitar Greats channel. All hail International Guitar Month. SiriusXM Guitar Greats on Channel 107 and year-round on the SiriusXM app. Get closer to everything that moves you, wherever you are.
Attention drivers, XPO is launching a new over-the-road operation designed exclusively for team drivers. You'll run dedicated routes between XPO facilities in brand new sleeper trucks with in-house no-touch freight. A typical work week is 5 days on the road, followed by 2 days of well-deserved home time. XPO team drivers receive full health benefits on day one, paid holidays, PTO, 401k, and more. Connect with a recruiter to learn more at xpo.com/teams. That's xpo.com/teams.
Things don't always go according to plan, especially during winter. For some, that might mean accidentally burning a pumpkin pie, the one they were going to top with whipped cream, drizzle with rich caramel, and bring to the neighbor's holiday party. Fortunately, they can always bake a new pie. But what do you do if your gelled or iced up diesel engine won't start or gain power during cold winter temperatures? You can't just bake a new engine. You use Power Service Diesel 911. That's what you do. This winter rescue formula restores the flow of fuel to diesels with gelled fuel or frozen fuel filters. That's why it's called Diesel 911. So this winter, plan for when things don't go as planned. If freezing temperatures stop your diesel engine cold, start going again with the original and best diesel fuel winter emergency product, Power Service Diesel 911. It's as easy as pie. Learn more at powerservice.com.
Myrtle Beach is the golf capital of the world, and now giving that proud title a deeper meaning. With the PGA Tour on board, we now represent the height and heart of competition at every level. For buddies trips, Myrtle Beach Golf creates priceless memories by the thousands each year. And in Myrtle Beach, kids play free, bringing new generations to the game like never before. Myrtle Beach is golf in every way. Visit playgolfmyrtlebeach.com and learn how you can be a part of it.
Hey, have you ever used Cheapo Air?
Yeah, for years, and I really like it. With Cheapo Air, you can book online, use their app, or even over the phone. They've got great prices on over 500 airlines and millions of accommodations. They are my go-to for travel planning. Oh, and if you join their Club Miles program, you can earn points to save on the cost of your travel. Book on the app, and you get double points.
Sounds like it's time I tried Cheapo Air.
Call Cheapo Air at 855-292-7493 or visit cheapoair.com/serious.
Attention real estate investors. Did you know New Silver offers instant online approval for fix and flip, construction, and rental loans? Get approved in under 5 minutes, close within 5 business days, and enjoy some of the market's lowest rates. If you're flipping, building, or own residential rental property, go to newsilver.com/XM and click the apply online button now to get instantly approved and secure a $1,000 closing credit for a limited time. That's newsilver.com/XM. Terms and conditions apply.
If spring allergies keep you trapped inside, then you need Navage Nasal Care to keep you breathing clearly and enjoying all the beauties of spring. Navage helps clear nasal passages that are often clogged because of seasonal allergies. Navage gently flushes a pure, refreshing saline solution through your nasal passages to clear out congestion, sucking out that springtime pollen and other irritants trapped in your nose. Navage is available online at Navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owe a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000.
Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief took care of Eric's problem.
And now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-725-9935. 800-725-9935.
Optima Tax Relief.
All right, we're back with the latest from the Middle East tonight. Israel vowing to respond to Iran's unprecedented attack as other nations urge restraint this evening during an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. The UN Secretary General condemning Iran's strikes on Israel while calling for both countries to, quote, step back from the brink. President Biden and other G7 leaders also met earlier today and said they're working to avoid further escalation in the region. According to a senior U.S. official, Biden has told Israel he will not back any counteroffensive against Iran. Israel's war cabinet deliberating for several hours earlier today, and the IDF saying operational plans have been approved. However, NBC is reporting Israel has not reached a final decision on retaliation against Iran. I want to bring in now NBC News senior executive editor David Rowe to talk more about this. So all the reporting indicating that we don't know when, we don't necessarily know how, we don't know to what degree, but Israel in fact will retaliate, will respond. What do you see, David, as the objective in this response and the ultimate goal here?
That's an excellent question, and really what is going through the mind of Prime Minister Netanyahu? I think this could range from the sort of smallest response could be a cyber attack, which the U.S. has carried out as well against Israel, which would be very limited. The most aggressive attack would be a massive Israeli airstrike designed to take out the facilities in Iran, where Iran has been developing the components needed, the enriched uranium needed for a nuclear bomb. That would be very aggressive. That would be, it'd be a very large operation involving many aircraft, but we don't know. I mean, the United States clearly hopes it's something on the smaller end of this. And in the end, it's very much a domestic, I think, Israeli political question. You have a divide already emerging in the war cabinet about how aggressive
talk about how the response and where the response would be, how the response would come. And I think, for instance, about Natanz, which is in a more rural area of Iran. It's a site in which they develop nuclear energy there. I could imagine that could feasibly be a target. It's been a target of cyber attacks before. However, if there are real casualties from a retaliation from Israel,